you ever wonder, do you wonder why is it that for some people, work seems to be energizing, fulfilling, and almost fun, yet for other people, it's a drag. It's an uphill battle. You go from day to day struggling, looking forward to the weekend. Or maybe for you personally, do you have days when everything seems to be going your way? Creative ideas flow naturally. Tasks seem to be easy and productive and everything is going well. But then there are those days when everything you do is a struggle. You just don't seem to be able to get anything done. You start the day with a to-do list, and by the end of the day, you're worse than when you started. Why is it this way? Why is it that some people struggle and others don't? You know, in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10, Jesus tells us that he came that we may have life that's abundant, fulfilling. Pastor Max Lucado describes this abundant life by calling it living in the sweet spot of life. Living in the sweet spot of life. Max Lucado talks about the sweet spot of life. He says it's very much like going downhill on a bicycle with the wind behind your back. Exhilarating, fun, enjoyable, and fulfilling. The Gallup organization, they do a lot of research in the area of human effectiveness and work habits. They call this sweet spot life, they call it playing to your strength. Playing to your strength. But you know, when they surveyed people around the world, they found that only 17% of us consistently have an opportunity to play to our strength. Why is it that so few of us have a chance to play to our strength? Peter Drucker is considered to be one of the best-known thought leaders of the 20th century. In his book, The Effective Executive, he says that most people do not know their strength. And most of those who think they do are often wrong. Do you know your strength? Do you want to play to your strength? If this is your desire, then this workshop is for you. You see, in the workshop, we give you two things. We give you a formula to help you define your strength and communicate your strength. But then we also give you a process to help you examine your life roles, prioritize your roles around your strength so you can fulfill your life callings. You see, the workshop is also about something else that's very important. It's about talent stewardship. In Matthew 25, Jesus gave a very powerful parable. We call it the parable of the talents. And my friend, you and I are stewards of our God-given talents. And as a steward, you have two responsibilities. A good steward has a responsibility to know what he is given, and he has a responsibility to invest what he is given to bring the greatest results possible. Why don't you take a few minutes and listen to some of the comments given by some people who took the workshop, and then contact us for more information.
My name is Rob Ribby, and I had the pleasure to participate in the Strengths Workshop with Baha, and just came away from our several days together encouraged, refreshed, inspired. The workshop content flowed very nicely and helped and was very biblically based, but made connections to life in my organization and in my work. I know that after this seminar, I will go home and be able to work with my team to help understand how we can work together better as a team, capitalizing on everyone's strengths. I would highly encourage your consideration of this important process to help the Strength Finder system really come alive in your organization.
My name is Robert Bruno. I'm the director of Christian Camp International in Latin America. This is a network of leaders where we work through 6,000 leaders around the network in 10 countries. Each national team requires leadership and train, a lot of resources that we try to provide in opportunities like international conventions. And we have the great blessing to use the resource of Strength Finder and the course that we have received with Baha Habashi. And I think this is an encouragement for us to work on our strengths. If we can use our strengths to develop our leadership, I think our ministry will be more effective.
My name is Chris, I'm 19 years old and I'm Honduran, and this workshop helped me realize that with my strengths, if I focus on my strength, I can do so much more for God's ministry, for the church, for myself, and for my fellow Hondurans.
The workshop was an excellent experience. It gained insights into my strengths and gave me really good ways to think about how to apply those in my own life, in my team, and how to serve and not just serve but perform toward my strengths in a way that gives me a lot more joy in work and in life. And so I'm looking forward to applying these principles.
The thing that I've really appreciated about this workshop was seeing the way that my past and my childhood and all of that, those strengths that I have now were present then already, and kind of seeing them connect throughout my life. And it kind of has made me believe more in those strengths, that it's not just something new I'm coming up with, that it's something that God created me to be from the very beginning of my life. So I've really appreciated that, and I'm excited to see and discover more about how I can use those in the calling that God has for me.
I just want to say how thankful we are for the opportunity to participate in this conference and just have the opportunity to think about our strengths and take a look at and just really have the permission to work in those strengths and to really develop them and to see how we can help others work in the same way. We're just really, really grateful and just expect to be able to invest this kind of teaching in the lives of many other people. We really hope we can multiply it.
We feel that this workshop has helped us dramatically because one of our passions, and we've lived here in Honduras for 20 years, is that the traditional church does not allow the lay person to dream and be creative and find their strengths and allow them to create ministry out of their own strengths. So this workshop has inspired us to keep pressing forward, to encourage the people to see where God has equipped them and how God has made them in His image in order to do His work.
My name is Lisa Anderson Umana, and I'm a missionary working in Latin America. And probably one of the things that's been most impactful of the workshop is really learning to name your strengths, which the Gallup poll test helps that you can do online, but naming them and then owning them. And so one of the things that I particularly like about the workshop is being a practitioner, someone in ministry. It allows me to look at my strengths, to name them, to begin to own them through the workshop, to understand what it means, but then to be able to connect it with specific roles and responsibilities. So what it's done is it's given me kind of a tighter focus in terms of how to look, having been on the field and already exercising some of the times that I've been in roles that haven't been exactly aligned with my strengths. So for me, the workshop has been able to tighten up my focus a little bit and to have a sense of understanding, oh, that's why I really enjoy doing that particular thing, or that's why this tends to tire me or fatigue me. So the insights that come from the workshop are really beyond what you get from Gallup. With Gallup, you get an excellent understanding of your strengths, but what Baha Habashi has done has been able to tie it in with other concepts in terms of roles and responsibilities and actually bring it down to where it affects the people that you're hanging out with and how you make up a daily schedule. So it's a very practical workshop. It goes beyond just, here's your strengths and try to understand them, just saying this is how you can walk with it on a daily basis. So I highly recommend it for both new missionaries as well as experienced or other people who are in church ministry or any other kind of ministry. It's good.